So hello ladies and welcome to my channel, Reverend Joyce Kariuki. Hi. Unfortunately in this video you'll not be seeing much of my face, but anyhow there is something I want to share with you, especially in this period of the stay-at-home directive. Just trying to see some of the things we can do in our homes instead of being bored. So today I remembered something that I used to do many years ago. Apparently I love baking and I've not done that in a long time. So I came across some overripe bananas. You can see that, very overripe. And I was just about to throw them away. Then I remembered I used to make some banana cakes. And I thought, why not? So I'm going to take you through some simple steps of making a fluffy, moist banana cake. I use very simple ingredients, simple utensils, and I'll take you through the steps. So the first thing is I took 4 eggs. These are my 4 eggs. And just mash them up. And you can use anything. You can use anything to smash them up. I used this improvised muiko, but you can use anything to do that. So just mash them up until they are good mushy. You can see that, yeah. So just smash them up, not too much. And then we are going to add, I put 2 eggs, hope you can see that, oops. So 2 eggs, and don't put all of them at the same time. Let me get a muiko, something. And you can use something like this to just tie in that egg, but just make sure you're beating it thoroughly. Some people beat the egg before, and the beating is important so that you can incorporate air. You incorporate air in the egg, and it's that air that causes the cake to rise. So I put in the rest of my egg and just give it a good beating. You can see that. And ladies, anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. Just put your heart to it. Follow the simple instructions and you'll have a wonderful cake and surprise your family. So that's done. You don't have to beat it too much. Put that aside, and then get your, we now go to the dry ingredients. I'll use 2 cups of flour. Now I prefer to use the self-raising flour. Then I don't have to worry about mixing the baking powder proportions, so I just go ahead and use this. So I'll measure out 2 cups. That's 1. Now when you do your flour, make sure you sieve it. Sieve the flour. Again, the reason for that is to incorporate air so that into the flour, so that your cake can rise. Easy. Some of these sieves readily available in our supermarkets. That's 1 cup. And we'll go with our 2nd cup. Put that away. And here we go. Sieving your flour. Have fun doing that. Okay. And then take any bowl, pour in your flour. Okay. These are the dry ingredients. So we have our flour there. Use about 1/2 cup of sugar. Again, you can add to your taste, so I'm just using about, these are small cups, half a cup of sugar. Put a pinch of salt. There you go, just a pinch of salt. And just mix your ingredients. Now, something else that I'm trying out today, I've never done it, but I want to try it today. I want to see if I can put these chia seeds. I think you can see that. Chia seeds, very nutritious, very high in omega. I think it's omega-3 or omega-6, one of those, but very highly recommended. And I thought, why not? So I'll just add maybe about a spoonful, and I mix. Maybe I can add a little more. Okay, so mixing that. Then I have my margarine melted. So this is melted margarine, half a cup. Can use whichever margarine you use, butter, just half a cup. Mixing that and stir it in. Very simple, very simple. Anybody can do this. Just mix them in. Some people even prefer, this is how I used to do it. There are times if your hands are clean, just mix it in, because also this is helpful to incorporate the air instead of doing that with a spoon. This is how my mother taught me. So this is how I did it. So just make sure you're mixing it in, lifting it off so that the air can get into the flour. Just play around with it. Play around with it, just mixing it with your hands. After this now, and you can do this just as long as you want. The more air, the better. Okay. Once this is done, take your banana mixture. Oh, and I forgot to say here, if you want, you can put some vanilla extract. It just adds flavor, but I didn't have it, so I'll just put this. And using my muiko, then I just pour it in and just mix. Just mix. Now, depending on how the mixture looks like, you can add just a little milk. You don't have to, but you can. So I just choose to add a little milk. So that it's not too hard. Just a little, maybe I've added about 1/4 of a cup. Now, you can use this to a handheld, what do we call this, mixer, just to help you so that you don't take too long. So I'll use this, excuse me for the noise, but yeah, just to help. I'll add just a little milk. you can stop it so that you scoop the ones on the side. Now the last step I was taught is you can see how it looks. It just drops. It just drops. Not too thin, not too thick. It just drops from the spoon. That's how you know you have the right mix. So one of the final things you do just before you put in the oven, just do like fold. Just fold. Just fold. And this is just folding in the air. Just folding. I hope you can see that. Just folding, folding, so that we can get as much air into this mix as possible. And not too much. That should just be fine. And that's how it looks. Again, not too thin, but can drop from the spoon. So the final step, oh, and I forgot to say, while you're doing all this, your oven should be on. 175 degrees should be okay. And we'll bake this for about 35 minutes. Later sometime, I'll show you how you can use a jiko. Next time we bake, we'll not use an oven. We'll use a jiko and sand. So I need to look for sand so that next time I can show you how we can bake with sand. But for today, my oven is already on 175 degrees. So I just need to take my baking tin, and I'll show you my baking tin. Ta-da! That is my baking tin. I told you I'm simple. So if you have a baking tin, proper, professional, that's fine. But if you're like me, a sufuria like this, not too light, just a good weight, medium size should be fine. So just before we put the mix here, just oil this, just put some margarine and just line your sufuria. And I know ladies, you know this, but I'll say it, this is just to prevent the cake from sticking to the sufuria when you're removing it. So just make sure the sufuria is properly lined with margarine on the sides, all the sides and the bottom. Then usually I'll just sprinkle a little flour, just a little. I'll sprinkle just that. And that's how it looks. So finally, we put in our cake mix. Hello. How do I do this so that you can see? And we just pour out our cake mix. Just make sure you scoop as much. Out of this. Again, if your hands are clean, why not? Just scoop with your hands. Sometimes it's hard to get everything out using a mwiko. So I think I got most of it out. Then just make sure it spread it out well. And finally, so that's how it looks, just line it well. And the final thing I do just to put, before I put it in the oven, is I just heat it 2, 3, 4, 5 times, just so it settles well in the sufuria. So I'll now put it in the oven for about 35 minutes, and I'm sure it will come out well. So later on, maybe I'll post 5 minutes or less video just to show you the outcome. But for now, I hope you have learned something you can do with those old overripe bananas that you have in the house, and we'll be sharing more recipes, very easy to follow in your house, and we can invest our time. Thank you so much. Just make sure you subscribe to my channel. Subscribe down there so that you can get notifications whenever I upload more videos. God bless you, and look out for my 2-minute video that I'll post on the outcome of my cake. God bless.